school, Professor Justin Hargreaves. He is another point of contact for you, another point of support. Justin is going to come along when he's finished his lecture, which is ongoing at the moment, to say hi. So as part of your induction week, there's a number of different things that you will be required to do. But the main thing that we want to get you to do this week is associated with health and safety. Okay, so most of you, I presume, will have worked in a chemical laboratory before. Safety is definitely the top priority. For me as a research supervisor, for me as a section head, for Justin as the head of school, for everyone else in this room, we need you to be happy, confident, and to work safely within your PhD. So to help you with this, and as part of this process, there is a safety induction, which will be tomorrow. It will be in this room, and it will take place at 1 p.m. And this safety induction is very important because as part of this induction, you're going to learn or relearn the safety protocols, procedures that are part of the university, that are governmental legislations. And the reason that you will come and attend this is because afterwards you will sit a safety exam. Okay, and the safety exam will take place on the 9th of October at 1 p.m. and it will also be in this room. And this is a written exam. Perhaps Mark will tell you a little bit more about it. But this is a written exam that you must pass to a certain level before you can start day-to-day laboratory experiments. Okay, so don't panic. This is not a point where we say, oh, you failed the safety exam and send you packing again, right? You will have opportunities to take it again if you do not pass it, but most people do pass it because we take it very seriously, because we all take health and safety very seriously in the school. But you'll get more information about that during the safety induction and also with things like the school's safety handbook, okay? What you will also receive is fire safety training. Now, hopefully you won't have to deal with a fire when you're in the building, but it is a possibility in chemistry research. But that will also occur at some point over the next couple of weeks. So your main priorities for the first couple of days, as well as the other induction things, is basically going through this safety training process. So please do take it seriously. Make sure you attend tomorrow promptly at 1 p.m. So the first person who's going to come and speak to you is going to be Mark Wildman, who is a member of the technical services team. He's a technical services manager, and he's also the safety coordinator for the School of Chemistry. So he's going to tell you a few different things about the technical staff that are here, the support that you'll receive, and various little bits and bobs about safety. So Mark, you stand about there, you can capture over there.
So thank you, everybody. So I'm fairly new to the school as well, coming in here in March, and so my position is a kind of cross college. So Ross showed you the structure that we're working in. My position is at college level with a bit of time in the School of Chemistry and within GES and engineering. And just why that's relevant to the sort of safety aspect is this is something not only the School of Chemistry takes very seriously, but the entire university really takes seriously. And it's not something that we want to impose to, clip your wings within the lab and make it too restrictive to your activities, but it is really fundamental to your development as a scientist to be able to operate safely and not only to work to the standards we set, but to improve those standards. And so, as Ross said, there'll be a safety exam, which will be next week, and the questions in that will be informed by the safety manual, which will be shared with you. And I will acknowledge the safety manual is quite a tome, but it's been reviewed recently to try and make it a bit more accessible and will be reviewed going forward. But the information in there will be accessible to you. You can read through it. A lot of the questions will be fairly straightforward that we hope you can all answer. As Ross said, if you don't pass that exam first time around, there'll be a reset. And if you also do not pass that reset, we'll have a sort of verbal examination assessment just to make sure that there's a reason why you're not sort of getting some of those questions right. Maybe it's just something fundamental you're not understanding. In terms of the points of contact, sort of help you with with safety and working safely. So we have top left Ross Slavin, who is the chemical safety advisor for SEPS, and so that is the Safety and Environmental Protection Services. So that's a university department for safety. We have a local school fire safety officer, John Little, who I think will give a little presentation tomorrow as well. And then we have myself there as the school safety coordinator, and to just give some more points of contact, as I said, because I'm a bit more across college, I have time within the School of Chemistry, but there's some deputy safety coordinators who will be largely based here. They're members of the technical staff, Joe Steele with the research labs, Alec Mongo in Analytical Services, and Jess Walker as teaching labs. So they're all points of contact. There's also a chem safety mailbox, which I monitor, and that email address we shared here within the handbook. And again, down the bottom corner there, if you're in doubt with any of this stuff, please ask me, send me an email, find me in the corridor, my office, A404. I would much rather you came and spoke before acting and leading to incidents. But we'll talk about all this stuff in more detail tomorrow at the safety induction. So just to give you a brief overview of the technicians within the research labs technical services as part of my team. We have Jim McIver there, who is largely based in the ARC, supporting research activities in there, primarily working with Leak Rodents to it. Gillian Laidlaw, working in chemistry, looking after the Walden lab and Henderson lab. We have Tang, it's a long name that goes by Tang. Chemical biology, operating in that space there. Joe Steele, who is supporting numerous labs, and as you saw there, was one of the deputy safety coordinators, so a good point of contact for assistance and making sure you're doing things safely. And then we have Erin McPake and Tisha Kagrea, who are new starts as of today. They're currently a few hours into their first day, so they are they've got their broad areas they're working there. Erin's in catalysis and organic materials. Tisha is within the Raphael labs, so soft materials technician, and Tisha's actually up the back there, so you can give a wave. But this is our team, and essentially they all have their competencies and skills. They are here to support you in delivering your research activities to high levels of safety and quality, and they should be present and visible so that you can discuss your needs and they can help you deliver with that. The previous slide there details some of the main PIs that they work with, and so if you see your supervisor or research group's name floating about there, then talk to me and talk to these individuals as a first point of contact. You probably get to know them over the course of your studies. They're not, hard linked to all those PIs. They can, they are here to support, and we can always accommodate, some support that you need. Just please talk to us about what you need and where you need that support. And we also have more technical staff across the College of Science and Engineering. So we have different branches here. So we have research lab services, which cover biological services, some instrumentation across engineering and physics, workshop services, and things like analytical services that Claire will speak about in a little bit. So we have access to this rich resource of technical support and knowledge, and please access it whenever you need to. And finally, help us to help you. So the more notice you can provide us as technical support means we can have early conversations about what you need. The technicians will provide advice and guidance, and just respect that and have an open discussion about what you need. Sometimes you'll be well aligned with what you need, and the communications will be clear. Other times it might take a bit of work, but we're all trying to make sure we're delivering the best research and the safest research we can. And finally, adhere to the safety protocols that you're asked to adhere to, and follow the SOPs, the safe operating procedures that you're asked to follow, and practice good housekeeping. Tidy up, keep things neat and tidy. There's other people working in the same spaces. So I will pass on to Joelle, I think, now. And
Okay, so I'll say if you have any questions, maybe save them for the end because we've got a bit of a packed schedule. And I think most of the people who are going to present will hang around until the end as well. So the next people that are going to speak to you are Joelle Prunet and Samantha Wright, who have two different roles within the School of Chemistry, support roles based around another aspect of health and safety, that being mental health and student welfare. So they'll speak to you for the moment.
Thank you. Hi. Hi, everyone. So my name is Sam. I'm the student support officer for your school. In addition to all the practical support that's available to you while you're here doing your PhD, I just wanted to talk a little bit about additional support with kind of managing your health and well-being while you're here. So for those of you who maybe haven't studied here before or just aren't aware of the service, the Student Support Officer service is available throughout the university in most of the schools and colleges. So there's a student support officer for most of the schools. So I cover support from all the way from first years up to PhD level. So essentially, we're here as just a friendly face. I don't have any kind of academic background in chemistry, so unfortunately I'm not able to help you with that. But we have very close links with kind of support services on campus, externally as well. So if there's anything, even if it's just as small as, I'm having an issue with my flat and I need some help, or there's a lot of other kind of complex things going on for you in your life while you're here studying at university, just another option for you to come and have a chat with me. It's on a kind of one-to-one appointment basis, so I'll always kind of tailor meetings based on your preferences, so in person or online. And if there isn't an answer, if I don't know anything kind of straight away, I'll always do my best to kind of find out for you where the best support is. I work closely, as I say, with support services in the university, but also with your kind of local school contacts as well. So I can always help link you up with the relevant kind of person. That's everything from kind of my initial part, but I'll just pass you to Joelle as well. You can explain a bit about her support that she can offer.
Yeah. So hello everyone, I'm Joelle Prunet and I'm a PI in the school. So my research group is specialized in organic synthesis, but I'm also here because I'm the student welfare officer. So for everything that's technical, and I really refer to Sam, but for me, it's more about giving you some additional support. So I know how hard it is sometimes to do a PhD, and especially if you're coming from abroad. I'm French, and I did my PhD in the US a long time ago when there was no internet, no email, no kind of FaceTime or WhatsApp or whatsoever. So I know sometimes you can feel isolated. So if you need any kind of support, you can help. You can come and talk to me. And the second point is I act as a mediator in work-related conflicts, which means if you have problems with your supervisor, obviously not the scientific problem, but more like a personal relationship problem with your supervisor, you can come and talk to me, and hopefully I can help you resolve the situation and maybe help you see the point of view of your supervisor. So I think this is it. If you want to find me, please send me an email, and my office is kind of hard to find, but if you see the water fountain in the corridor, go at the in front of the corridor, go to the end of this corridor on the right-hand side, hidden, you'll find my office in A413. And now I guess back to Sam.
Yeah, I should have mentioned as well where I am. So my office is quite easy to find from here, ish. So it's room A426. It's just out the corridor here, and just before you get to the school office, there's a really noisy cupboard on the side and an emergency shower. That door there. So I'm just out there. But the best way to contact me is by my email address, chem-studentsupport@ac.uk. And I'll be happy to kind of set up a meeting to discuss what's been happening. So just as a last point from me, just some key kind of support resources that you might find really useful, especially if you don't have it already. I always say to all students to download the Safe Zone app. It can be used, you know, in the event of an emergency to get directly through to our security team. But even if, you know, you have an issue smaller than that, like you're lost on campus, you don't know how to find a room, they're really good and really friendly. If you press the kind of inquiry button, getting through to someone and just, you know, being there and help on the spot, it's really useful. If you don't have access to the app and it is an emergency, but you can call a number, then the security gatehouse number is 01413304444. So do keep that in your phones as well, just in the event of an emergency. If you do happen to experience harassment, bullying or sexual violence, the key place to go is the reporting tool. There is also a very new sort of tool that's come in called a note of concern. So if you are concerned about a fellow student, if you Google University of Glasgow note of concern and you just want someone to check up on them, that's an option as well. But anything specific related to harassment, bullying or sexual violence, the university wants to know obviously about what's happening on campus so they can support. You can fill out that form either with your details or you can remain anonymous as well, but we can't guarantee if any kind of support will get to you in that case. If you want to speak to someone and it's out of hours or you just feel like getting things off your chest, we do have a 24/7 counselling advice phone line as well, so I've put that up there. So that's 0800 028 3766. This is run by an external counselling service, so you will get put through to a counsellor. They won't be a university counsellor, so if you did want to speak to someone just completely impartial, then there's that option for you. We do also have our university counselling service as well. So the benefit of that is that the counsellors are there to help you and get kind of give you techniques about your well-being and specifically kind of keep you on track while you're, you know, doing your research and everything as well. And they understand the university environment and can kind of signpost to us to different services as well as needed. I think that's everything from me. But yeah, thanks so much for listening. Hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you. So I would reiterate that while you're here, there are multiple levels of support that are available to you. Okay, so we have 2 independent people here, part of the school, to give you support. You have your support network that is your primary supervisor. You will have a secondary supervisor, at least one. You have a research section head. You have David, who's the graduate school director, even up to Justin, who's the head of school. So I would urge anyone that if you are having any issues, if you want to speak to people, do it sooner rather than later. It solves things much quicker. It nips things in the bud. I was the grad school director before David, and I spoke to a number of people who came to me with problems that they thought were massive and difficult to deal with, and we were able to deal with them quite quickly. So please do not suffer in silence. We would urge you to speak to people if you need any help with any aspect of your PhD journey. So I'm going to move on to a different topic now. So next up, some information about IT. So Stuart Mackay, who is running up from the back, he's going to speak to you about all things IT and what not to do.
Yeah, sorry. Hello, welcome from me. Far too much information on the slide, sorry. And there's 2 of them. If you only remember 2 things from me today, and I realize that people are telling you many things, all of which are good, but you know, a lot of things. IT support is available, of course, and we can help you. The primary way to get it is to go, where is it? The blue one at the top, self-service, the help desk on campus. Okay, so that's an online help desk for IT-related things. It's also for things like your My Campus and your student things, you know, so there's a variety of help desk services there. Now, if you go to that and fill in a request that says, help, my computer's not working, somebody will get back to you. A good way to get information directly to the local college team is to search for COSY IT, and I got that up there somewhere. Oh dear. COSI as in College of Science and Engineering. If you search for COSI IT, then you'll get directly to our team, so that if it's something relevant to your chemistry or our laboratory equipment or those kind of specialist stuff, which we can help with. If it's a problem with Wi-Fi or your email address, then central services can help you anyway. But so we're a specific dedicated college IT team, and we sort of specialize in chemistry software and X-ray machines and NMR and I don't know what else, you know. Now we are based. Did I put the wrong number? I'm sorry, I haven't read my own slide. I apologize. We're based upstairs in room A509, right? So it's not very far away and we're quite handy. But the reason I would encourage you to use the self-service help desk thing is I might not be in the office. So don't come knocking and there's nobody there and go, oh, help, I can't get anybody. So log a ticket, as it were, with the help desk and someone will get back to you. But if you want to come in person with your laptop, that's the place to go. If we arrange to meet you, that'll be the place to go. And if you've logged a ticket, and 2 days later nobody's got back to you, come and knock on our door and tell us the ticket number and we'll follow it up. So again, you're not, you know, don't suffer in silence. Now, in terms of the services you get, I guess it's obvious enough. You get a university email address, university password, and that gives you access to certain things like OneDrive and so on. As research students, you also get, I'll read my own slide, you also get an email address based on your actual name. So these two email addresses go to the same place. So f.smith, j.smith@1@research is also you, goes to the same mailbox. So don't get confused about that. Most services will either use your student number, 1234567S, your student login number, and or your email address for logging in. Some use one, some use the other. It's usually clear which is which, always the same password. So that's great. You might get what I would call a staff ID if you're ordering things or getting paid for demonstrating or a few things like that. So you might have a staff login and a student login. Use your student login for everything except the payroll system if you're using that. So that keeps it fairly simple. Now, in chemistry, we have a file server, we have an NMR system, which I think Alex is going to talk about. That uses a login, which we will issue you. It's a local login just for those services. That's much simpler. It'll be like your name with your initials or something, so you can tell them apart with a separate password, sadly. You'll get that from us soon. What you also get from us is a laptop. And if you don't already have a desk, hopefully you've got a desk with a screen on it. And if you haven't, we'll provide that, keyboard, mouse. So you'll be issued with a university laptop, and you can use it like a desktop equivalent computer. So you can put it on your desk and just leave it there if you want to. You don't have to carry it along, but of course you can. Now, there might be a few of you, if you're in a CDT, you might be getting a laptop through them. You know, there's a couple of other variations. You don't get two laptops, okay? So be honest about that. However, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and hopefully this has been communicated to you in timetabling terms, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock upstairs in A523, just upstairs on the A5 corridor up here, we will be giving out your laptops. Hooray! And you mustn't sell them, okay? Because they're expensive. We'll give you a university laptop, and we'll also issue you a piece of paper with a password for this chemistry system while we're at it. And we'll try and get them all installed with some chemistry software. We've only got 2 hours. We might not get them all processed tomorrow morning, but we can get you back to finish them off if that's the case. So you'll get a laptop from us tomorrow morning. It might or might not work first time. If you can't make it or you miss us or something, don't worry, just get in touch with us. We'll get you your equipment quickly enough. It does belong to the university. We do ask you to return it when you leave, but you know, you can keep it for 3 or 4 years. There's a whole variety of kind of campus level services, like obviously Microsoft Office, Microsoft Teams. The Glasgow Anywhere website is a good one. It's remote access to a campus PC. So from anywhere, even if you don't have a working computer, you can log into a university PC remotely and get all the usual services. So that's quite a handy one. And we will also, of course, have software like ChemDraw for chemical diagrams, Gaussian for calculations, OLEX for crystallography, Origin for statistics, lots of stuff that's more specific to science. Much of that you can actually install on your personal device if you want as well. So that's okay too. I would encourage you, I think this is on the next slide, but I would encourage you to think of the laptop we're going to give you as your work laptop, your university laptop, and use it for that purpose. I know most of you probably got personal devices, laptops, tablets, whatever. That's fine. You can put ChemDraw on your personal laptop. I'm fine with that. But I would encourage you to separate the personal and the professional quite well. There'll be university email, a university laptop, university OneDrive. And you should keep all your university stuff on that. partly because we pay the maintenance and we'll fix the laptop if it breaks and we look after the software, partly because if your personal device falls in a drain and you've got all your files on it for your research, it's gone. So I would divide those two things, partly just because that's good practice, to be honest. Keep all your important things on OneDrive, then you know where they are, they don't get lost. I think I have a second slide, I don't know what it says. Oh, I think this is mostly the rules. Blah 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 blah. Right, there's a lot on it. There's a lot on this. I apologise, but basically, the last two in particular separate the personal and the professional. Take breaks away from screens. Sitting in front of the screen all day is not good for you. If you are working on a laptop, have a proper desk and a chair. Set it up properly. Don't perch on a beanbag. You'll get repetitive strain injury and back issues and all sorts. Keep important stuff. Keep everything on OneDrive. Or you might have some shared storage for your research group, depending on the individual groups. If you put something on a memory stick and you've got a deadline coming up and it's your only copy of your report, I think we all know what's going to happen. When you open it, it's not going to be there. So have two copies, have a backup copy, have yesterday's copy. Microsoft Office is not your friend. It can sense deadlines and it will delete all the diagrams. So just for your own sanity, you know. The paragraph at the top, it's all very boring, but we can't just spy on your files, okay? We have the sort of technical ability to, but we're not allowed. It's against the law for me to spy on any of you, except if you're breaking the rules or something, in which case, well, yes, the university can investigate. But we actually have a duty, a legal duty, to keep your stuff confidential. The other side of that for you is don't try hacking into things you're not allowed to. If you can't get into something you think you want to use, come and ask us. It's probably just that we've not set the permissions properly. But it's not the Wild West anymore on the internet. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, use the uni computers for work. Now, you can use them for reasonable personal purposes as well, of course. You can browse the web on your work computer, that's fine. But I would certainly keep any adult material entirely separate from the university. Don't do it on the university network, don't do it on the university device, don't do it on university premises, would be my suggestion. You don't want to be in that situation. So if you only remember two things, hello, I'm Stuart, we do IT. And tomorrow at 10 till 12, we're hoping we will be issuing laptops and logins and things up in A523 upstairs in the computer room. And if there's anything else, you can always ask, hopefully. That makes sense? Yep. Well, maybe it doesn't make sense. Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Stuart. Just one extra additional thing is you have the possibility to register a web profile, which will allow basically to have your own little profile on the university web pages, part of the chemistry website. This came in this morning, so we haven't actually looked at this. This is a new thing. We'll make sure we circulate the slides with the link and the QR code that will take you to that. That basically populates a reasonably generic profile, but allows you to establish a web profile if you don't have one elsewhere. Okay, next up, an overview of the analytical services from Claire Wilson, who is the services manager.
Hello. So I'm going to do a similar, less entertaining version of Stuart's. That is, you will have the slides. There is lots of information on them. My main aim is that you know we exist, that there are a range of services that you can use. Have a look at the website. School of Chemistry website has an analytical services section on it. And if in doubt, get in touch. If you know who the person is for the relevant service, contact them directly. If you're not sure, give me a shout. If there are things that aren't listed and you think that they might exist, again, please get in touch. So I've just put up a few things that we have and the people that run those. There's quite a big range of things that we can do. NMR is part of it, but it runs in a slightly different way for induction, which is why Alex is going to have a talk about that at the end. So most of what we have is a mixture of either services where you might submit a sample, fill in a form and get a result back. That's what can work for the high-res mass spec service. That works for the CHN microanalysis, but there's also a lot of equipment and techniques that's available to use where if it's something that you're going to use regularly, that we'll train you to use that. And then there's an online booking system once you're trained that you can do that, and we'll help and support you with analysing data and setting up experiments. There are more details on the website. As I said, contact people responsible or contact me. In a different way to NMR, just get in touch when you have samples and you're going to need either to run them or need to be trained. So for all the open access things, it can usually be arranged within a week or so. There's no point feeling like you have to have training on everything in your first few weeks, and then you don't actually at a point to need it for another 3 or 4 months, and then you need to be trained again. NMR runs differently, but for everything else, the first question that you'll get asked by any of us is, are you ready to run things yet? And if the answer is no, we'll just be like, please come back to us when you are. So yeah, basically we exist. There are lots of things available to you. If you don't see the things that you're expecting to see, please also get in touch and see it might be possible that they exist elsewhere.
Thank you, Claire. I would strongly encourage you to consider all the analytical services. The university is blessed with actually an incredible amount of equipment compared to other places. And it's great to be able to run experiments yourself. So keep that in mind. So next up, as Claire said, is going to be Alec. So Alec runs the NMR service. He's the NMR service manager. And this is run a bit differently from the other analytical services. And he's going to give you a bit of information on that.
So, as you've been said, NMR runs slightly different to all the other services. And the main thing of that is that because a lot of people need to use NMR quite quickly, quite early on, that we just run inductions and be the week after next. So the 13th, 14th, and 15th of October at 10 and 2. I will send emails out next week after things have calmed down to all of you to let you sign up for whichever session works for you. We have 3 open access spectrometers and 1 that is not open access. So basically you can walk up and use the NMR. You don't need to fill in forms or anything like that, and all the data will be archived for you. But I'll talk more about that at the induction. But the main thing to give out this is the inductions will be the week after next, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You will need a chemistry login, as Stuart said, in order to activate your account. So if you have that, bring it with you. Or give it to me as soon as you have it so that I can set up your account and just start using it straight away. One thing that I wanted to remember from this is that if any of you have any sort of, because there's obviously the NMRs are high power magnets, if any of you have any, like a pacemaker, any internal metal implants, or any other medical devices, please let me know ahead of time. Because we might need to make some alternative arrangements because I may not be able to let into the lab. Just because they can interview with those devices. My contact details are down there, so if you have any questions about any of that. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay, thanks, Alec. Okay, so that is our analytical services team. Make sure you make good use of them. I'm going to bring up, before we get to the next item, is demonstrating. So one of the things that you can do as a PhD student, and we strongly encourage you to do this, is to demonstrate in the undergraduate teaching labs. So what you would do is, we obviously have a whole range of undergraduate teaching, first, second, and third years. These labs run throughout the academic terms, and we need PhD students to help us run those labs. Okay, without you, we can't run the labs. What usually happens is there's a group of between 3, 5, maybe 6 PhD students that are in each of these teaching labs at any one time, and helping the undergraduates run their experiments. Okay, so this is a great way for you to gain teaching experience, supervision experience, mentoring experience, and also we pay you to do this. So this is in addition to your PhD stipend. So it's a great way to earn a little bit of extra money. I would suggest that you discuss this with your supervisor first before signing up, because I strongly encourage it, but occasionally some supervisors are less keen. But I think this is a great experience for you to do so. If you want to demonstrate, you first have to go through our demonstrator training process. That is on Friday at 10 o'clock in here, okay? So I make a note of that. Come to that, I think, anyway. But if you want to demonstrate, I would strongly recommend it, and we very much need the assistance in the school. As part of this, I would say that during your PhD, you're not just going to do research. There will be additional opportunities for development and training. And these are run by various different things. You might have them as part of your CDT, but there's also a broad selection of things that the college itself will run. And you will be expected to undertake some training and additional training as you go through. So these would be things like courses where you can go and learn about things like data management, academic writing, that kind of thing, and also things that are subject specific. So you can basically go to lecture modules and learn specific chemistry that might be relevant towards your PhD. You will get information on this, so you will get not only the slides here, but also information on these activities. You will also, I presume, if you haven't got it now, you will get soon information from the college about the mandatory training courses that you have to take as well. These are all online through Moodle, and I think there's 4 or 5 of these that every postgrad needs to take. You will be checked that you've taken these when you go through your PhD progression in May next year. So please keep an eye on that. And please consider demonstrating. The other thing I would say is you will get a version of the postgraduate handbook. If you're not emailed one, I would recommend you go and download one, because that will contain a lot of the information in there as well and answer many of your questions. Okay, so next up, we're going to have Jerry, who's going to talk to you about the work of the school EDI committee.
Well, first of all, it is my absolute pleasure to be representing the EDI committee of the School of Chemistry to introduce you all or welcome you all to the school today. So if you look around the room today, you'll see many different faces, many different personalities, many people from different backgrounds. And I would just want to emphasize on behalf of the department and the school that you're all very valued, and it's very important that we share different perspectives and different backgrounds. And it is in this very collaborative space of chemistry research that we really need different people to speak up on their beliefs, on their background and experience, expertise. And so we really appreciate that you've taken the time to take part in our department and be a part of this big story that we're trying to write together. So EDI spans a lot of things. So includes gender, your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, and all sorts of different aspects of life that might or might not seem to matter to your research. But I believe, and I'm sure the EDI panel also believe, that every single bit of you is important to us. If you're interested in knowing more about general EDI and what they mean, there are some really useful resources that I can share with you. So for example, the Royal Society of Chemistry has published 2 very impactful reports. So we have the Missing Elements report, which is more focused towards ethnic diversity in chemical research, as well as the Breaking the Barriers report, which is more focused on the gender equality side of things. But these are not the only ones that we are trying to look into. We're trying more than what I've said today. But this is the general view of EDI. What about the School of Chemistry? What about us? What are we doing? So within the School of Chemistry in Glasgow, we are currently an Athena Swan Bronze Award holder. So the Athena Swan Charter is an initiative to promote gender equality within the chemical sciences as well as the wider general science research field. Bronze is a first step. We're hoping to move on to further awards in the coming years. And that's why we're currently focusing on this kind of work. Very recently, we've introduced a new initiative to promote good culture within the school, which is called the Chemist Brew, which is a weekly tea and coffee event that allows us to come together as a community, mingle and chat, make some friends, and basically just have a good time. We also do other celebration events such as the International Women's Day, where we actually brought in some therapy dogs that day. It was a really lovely time, and it basically is just a really nice self-care time. With that said, the EDI committee has just been established literally, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we are still very much at its infancy. We're trying very hard to make this journey as fun, as happy, as welcoming as possible. And so if you have any questions or if you have any issues, if you want to help us smooth out our rough edges, please do email us at abichem@glasgow.ac.uk. And finally, one more thing. This is from me personally, not from the committee. Please value your lunch breaks. If there's one thing that's going to get you through your postgraduate studies, it's your lunch break self-care time. So please take care of yourself. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. I definitely value my lunch, you can probably tell. Okay, so the last people that are going to speak to you this afternoon are the Alchemists, which is the School of Chemistry's social society, and they're involved in various different activities as part of this bringing the community of chemistry together in this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so as mentioned, we're a society based within the School of Chemistry. So the idea is that we are run by chemists for chemists. It's not exclusively for chemists, but the idea is that we very much have a kind of chemistry slant on the things that we do. So we try and run social events, but we also try and do some academic themed events. So sometimes we get guest speakers in. Something that was really good we did last year was had some postgraduates deliver some talks about their research. So there's quite a lot of interest within undergraduates for that. So maybe that's something you'd like to get involved in. We do events for holidays, such as Halloween coming up. We've got Burns Night, which is something we celebrate every year. Yeah, so we try and offer quite a broad range of events in what we do. So a brief overview of what's coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to be back in here at 5:30. We've got our AGM. So that is where we will establish a committee for the next year. So if this sounds like something that you would maybe be interested in helping out with, that's definitely something to come along to. If you come to the AGM, you are not locked into doing anything. You can come along and run away as soon as it's done. But we would really like to see as many faces there as possible. You can come and kind of suggest your ideas without committing to joining the committee. And if I get my finger out and write it, we will be having a pub quiz straight afterwards. So that should be a lot of fun. 2 weeks from then, we've got our Ceilidh, which is something we've started doing every October as a kind of welcome event for people returning and new people coming into the school like yourselves. So that's going to be in the Union. Great fun, a bit of traditional kind of Scottish dancing. Tickets will be available, well, they are available for that now. And then further down the line, we've got Halloween and we'll have Christmas parties. And I will be emailing out details about that, but also the thing that I would recommend is our Instagram page. So that's the best place to kind of keep track of what we do. You can buy a membership to the society, which is £5 for the year, and it basically saves you money on any paid events that we do. And basically, by the time the Ceilidh rolls around, you'll have nearly made your £5 back. So it's definitely good value, and it just helps us keep the lights on, keep running things for our members and for other people in the school. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for letting me speak. We've got a website, but the main place that you can kind of see what we do is the Instagram, which again, you can see by the QR code that's on the slides here. We've also got the email address, alchemist@kevin.gla.ac.uk. So we're always open to suggestions, comments, anything like that. So if there's anything you think we could be doing that we're not, or something that we are doing that you like, please do get in touch. Nice.
Thanks. Okay, so you will be relieved to know that the flow of information is about to stop. You've met a few different people that are involved in the activities in the school that you'll be involved with as PGRs. So I believe the Alchemists are offering building tours if they need them. So if you want to, if you're new to this building, if you haven't been in before and you want to go around some of the labs and spaces in the tour, the Alchemists will escort you around the building. The speakers, or indeed most of the speakers, are still here. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take questions as well. And then we're going to start setting up for a little social mixer afterwards for everyone. So you're welcome to stay around and have a little bit to eat and drink as well, and get to know each other. Okay. But I would just emphasize, if you have any queries about anything, please ask. Okay. The school is here to help you. We're here to make sure you have a fun time during your PhD, an enjoyable time, a safe time. Okay. And we can only do that if you communicate with us and if you work with us. So please do get in touch if you have any queries about anything we've talked about today, or anything in general. And I'll wait around for the next half an hour or so if there's anything I can help with. So just to thanks everyone for coming and speaking and taking the time, and good luck. Okay, enjoy.
Thank you, Ross.